Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. I'm Mike Marza.
And I'm Michelle Charlesworth on this Saturday, January 8th.
We have a tragic update on a story we first brought you last spring. A 61-year-old man who was badly beaten in an alleged hate crime in East Harlem has now died from his injuries. Yelpan Ma, a Chinese immigrant, died last Friday, we're told. Police say back in April, Gerard Powell kicked him to the ground and then kicked him repeatedly in the head. Ma had been in the hospital ever since. Powell was arrested days after the attack.
Governor Kathy Hochul has announced a COVID booster requirement for all healthcare workers. Also, she's requiring all nursing home visitors wear surgical quality masks and show proof of a negative COVID test. This is after the state's hospitalization numbers rose to their highest numbers since the beginning of the pandemic. The numbers are rising fastest among children. More than half of pediatric hospitalizations are kids 4 or younger. 91% of the 5 to 11-year-olds being treated, 91% are unvaccinated.
Thousands of children have been vaccinated safely, and those are the children, by and large, are not the ones in the hospitals.
Meantime, more than 80,000 new cases were reported in New York. There is optimism, though, from state officials that we may be approaching the Omicron peak.
It's hard to make predictions, especially about the future. We need a couple more days to be able to tell that it has peaked. Of course, that's what everyone is hoping for. It will end. That much I'm prepared to make an assured statement about.
New York City Health Commissioner Dr. David Chokshi expressed similar optimism earlier this week. He noted, though, the apparent leveling off of new cases could be due to fewer people getting tests.
A Supreme Court ruling on vaccine mandates for private businesses could come at any time. The justices hearing arguments on the federal mandate from OSHA. They appeared split along usual lines.
How focused on the workplace does something have to be before you will say that OSHA can regulate it?
This is the policy that is most geared to stopping all this.
The mandate is supposed to apply to businesses with more than 100 people. The court also heard arguments on a separate mandate for healthcare facilities that take Medicare and Medicaid money.
From Broadway to restaurants, even gyms, the Omicron surge continues to put a strain on business. Even in the absence of shutdowns, fitness centers normally are packed, as you know, after the holidays. But when we stopped by the training lab in Midtown last night, there was no after-work rush. The same goes for the fitting room on the Upper West Side. Their business is down at least a third compared to a typical January.
If you think about the sheer numbers of people who are either testing positive or concerned about testing positive, it has a drastic impact on the number of people who show up.
Workers at both gyms say the lack of office workers in the city is a major factor in their loss of business.
Beginning at 9 o'clock this morning, you can place online or mobile sports bets anywhere in New York State. 4 platforms receiving licenses: Caesars Sportsbook, DraftKings, FanDuel, and Rush Street Interactive. Until now, New York gamblers could only place wagers at upstate casinos. The state expects $10 billion in sports betting each year.
This morning, city streets are mostly clear after yesterday morning's fast-moving snowstorm left several inches across the 5 boroughs. Central Park and Staten Island saw about 5 inches. Brooklyn received up to 7, and the Bronx and Queens saw up to 8 inches. By mid-morning, the sun was out, and people were out shoveling the sidewalks.
I'm out of shape. What can I say?
You'll be in shape by the time you're done.
Yeah, I thought I had a little more stamina than this.
Meantime, schools remained open. Attendance was down significantly, though. Only about 45% of students showed up. That's down from about 70% earlier in the week.
Talking about the snow, we're in this period of melting and refreezing, Jeff, that we experienced overnight, and now more stuff expected tomorrow?
Yeah, we already have winter weather advisories in effect north and west of New York City during the day on Sunday because rain will actually be arriving, but that'll fall on top of temperatures that are below the freezing mark. So there'll be some icing problems north and west with some slick travel in those areas. In the meantime, today it's all about the cold. I mean, even despite a full day of sunshine, that high gets up to about freezing if we're lucky. Brisk out there to start, but lighter after afternoon winds. Clear to partly cloudy, seasonably cold overnight tonight. We drop down to about 28, even colder in the suburbs. And that's the problem. We'll have cold enough air as some occasional rain arrives tomorrow. It'll be warm enough aloft for rain, but the raindrops fall down to a surface that's at or below the freezing mark north and west of New York City. And that could really make for some slick travel in those areas. I think in the city, probably just plain old rainfall. It's about 40 for a high in Midtown. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast on Monday, turning colder. We're back down to about 33 for a high, all the way down to 16 Monday night. We're calling Tuesday an AccuWeather alert. Why? Well, look at how cold it's going to be. 21 for a high. That could be generous. We could actually be staying in the teens, and it will feel more like single numbers to around the 10-degree mark. Not as harsh on Wednesday, a little bit more in the way of cloud cover, 30, and there could be a rain or snow shower Thursday into Friday. Temperatures by then near normal for this time of year, around the 40-degree mark. We'll send it back over to you.
All right, we'll be ready. Thanks so much, Jeff. Stay connected with us all day.
Watch Eyewitness News and ABC News Live New York anytime on our app for your TV. Just search ABC7 New York.